Hey everybody, how's it going? Gonna start off a little early today. It's 10 to 8, but gives lots of time for the notification to go through and for people to get to their computers or smartphones, tablets, and stuff. What an odd product placement. We'll take a couple of minutes here just to say hi to everybody. We've got lots of stuff to go over tonight. I feel like it's been forever since I did a live, but it's really only been a few weeks, right? Because GVO After Dark was a couple of days before Christmas, and that was really the last time. But don't tell Pepsi, but I prefer Coke. So yeah, it's been a while since it feels like it's been a while since I've done a live, but we'll go over all that and whatnot. Got some projects that I'm going to be working on tonight, and a few other things. Got a list, and I'm going to go down the list, and we'll go over that shortly. But I just want to come back here. I'm going to go all the way up the chat here. Ethan, if you're still in the chat, welcome. Dwight and Bubs, Roger and Brian, Eminem Shortline, how's it going? Dennis and Angela, and Mr. Eminem himself, Mark, and Mike. Mark and Mike and Sean and John. A little bit of everybody. One day I'll make a song about it. It won't be as good as Mark's, but... And Derek Alexander, how's it going? And Anfield Road Layout in the Loft. And KB Rail, how's it going? Mike, did you get your Loco yet? I guess that would be first up on the docket. Well, I've got you there. And Luca. Hi, hey, Luca. Thanks for joining. And Mr. Dave Co. Daddy Dave Co. How's it going? And Roy Eltham. And Rail Artist. Everybody's piling in. We got a good 25 people. And if you miss it, don't forget, you can always watch the replay. I keep playlists like you wouldn't believe. I've got one if you're specifically into Via Rail. Any show that I do that features Via Rail, I've got a playlist set up for you, including Third Rail Thursdays. Every Thursday we go live. And yeah, it's a good time. Now, I'm sure we can... I guess we can start off by doing that whole bit. It's 5-2. I don't think it matters all that much. People are just going to come and go as it is. So every Thursday, we do a live. We call it Third Rail Thursday. And it's dangerous stuff, that Third Rail Thursday. It's very addictive. Normally, Dave Co., he does the first Thursday. Wow, I already ruined it. And that's why I start early, just in case I have to start over. Nah, I won't start over. I'll spare you that much. Every Thursday, and Dave normally does the first Thursday, but he's out on mat leave. Is that what you call it? Paternity leave? I don't know. He's having a baby. So he's going to be stepping down just for a little bit. We wish him and the Co family all the best, and hopefully we get him back real soon. I normally do the second week. Here I am. This is the second week. Eminem Rails normally does week number 3, and he normally does a very good job of it. So he'll be next week, actually. He might even do a special show. I'm not going to tell you why. Apparently I'm not allowed, but might be a special show. And the last week or last Thursday of every month, it's normally GVO After Dark, where we collectively come together and talk about trains and troubles, try, anything that we encounter with our layouts or the hobby. We talk news, whatever's been released. Sometimes we show off new products, a little bit of everything. And sometimes we make fun of each other, because that's what friends do. They make fun of each other, pick out their foibles, and remind each other to stay humble, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it's always a good time. Next up on the list, for those who won prizes on the Christmas show, congratulations again. A lot of them, if not most of them, have been sent out. I know some of the guys have already started receiving them. I still have a few more that I have to send out. Keep in mind, and normally I'm really good at shipping stuff out, but it's already cost over $100 just to ship the ones that I've already shipped, and that comes out of my pocket. So be patient. Good things come to those who wait. And we'll get the rest of them out to you guys very shortly. And for those who've already received their presents, their gifts, their prizes, again, hopefully you enjoy them. Good people at Otter Valley, Grand Central Scenics, and Mini Prince. Thank you guys. And, hopefully everybody had a good year. I know I did. Christmas with the family. It's great. I've got 2 kids, 5 and 8. That's not their names, that's their ages. But sometimes when there's more than one of them, you have to number them to keep track of all of them. So sometimes they go by number 1 and number 2. Yeah. I have a bad memory, so. But yeah, we had good holiday, good Christmas. I worked Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, Boxing Day. For anybody who's not Canadian, Boxing Day is like your holiday day to go and buy discounted TVs at an electronics store. But, whatever. I worked that, and I worked New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So I worked a lot. Very tiring, It is what it is. But something cool happened this past New Year's Eve. At about between 8 and 8:30 at night, I reached 2,000 subscribers. That's amazing. And I want to personally thank every single one of you. I'm not going to say thank you 2,000 times, but I want it to feel like that. So thank you. And I appreciate everyone's support and the love and, everything that you guys do. And every single comment and share and whatnot. And that's, right across the board to all of you. So thank you so much. Again, I do all this, not just for me, but for you guys as well. So thank you. And Dwight, so giving. Thank you so much, Dwight. And yeah, I'm going to read back through the chat. You guys know I always do that. And, just in case I missed anything, if anybody else received their presents, just let me know in the chat there. Give me a shout. Say, hey, got it. Good. Now, there was a couple of gifts that were unclaimed. It is what it is. And for those who won multiple, they chose their gift. So I've got a couple of extra giveaway stuffs, but I'm going to save that probably for a later date because I've got my 2K giveaway that I'm going to do, and that'll be real soon, probably within the next month or so. I'm going to think real long and hard about what I want to do and what I want to give away because 2K is a pretty huge milestone for me anyway, seeing as I didn't even think I'd hit like 50 subs when I started. And that was about, how long has it been now? 7 years? 5 years? I've lost track of time. I don't know. I've been through so many layouts. I've lost track. So, yeah. But thank you guys. Thank you for the support. And yeah, but obviously with everything, like I do the keeping track, we're doing Sunday shows consecutively every single Sunday for the Sunday brunch kit builds as well. I tend to I want to offer a lot of variety, and I want to offer a lot of different like I want to touch on many different things. Like I'll do videos where I'm running trains. I want to do videos where I'm building kits and whatnot. And I just like sharing everything that has to do with the hobby, and you guys are my go-to for who I want to share it with. And you guys allow me into your homes every week, and I really appreciate it. But obviously, sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. I was talking to Mark about it a little bit less than a week ago, and he said, "Hey man, you've been going hard at this for like 3 years now, with doing shows every month and every week, and it's weird how the YouTube algorithm works, because you almost have to be posting every single day or every other day to actually make a dent in views and whatnot. And even what I was doing consecutively, it didn't really seem like that much anyways, but I still like to keep my time busy, and I like to share all this stuff, and it does take a toll. And that's why I haven't really posted all month, kind of taking like a mini vacation, mini break, as they say, this month. So and I hate to be the one to tell you this, although it's probably best coming from me, is that I'm going to G scale. Just kidding. No, I'm not going to G scale. So at the end of the month, when we normally do GV After Dark and keeping track, this month there's going to be no keeping track and no GVO After Dark. I know I'm breaking a 3-4 year thing here, streak, but honestly, I've needed some time this past month. I don't know if anybody else suffers from depression and anxiety and whatnot, but definitely these past several months have been very trying on me. And there's only so much you can do as an individual and whatnot, and just trying to keep my head above water, as they say. So not going anywhere. I'm just been taking some time off. So anyways, now that that's out of the way, because I'm sure you don't want to hear about that anymore. So today I'm going to unveil a new locomotive. Now, it's not really a new locomotive. It's just a locomotive that I've had some custom work done, and I'm going to share that with you. Also, Mini Prints. Mini Prints sent me some mini stuff, and I'm going to share that with you as well. And some projects that I've been working on the side. Because even when I'm taking time off, I'm not actually taking time off. I'm just okay, if I can touch on it. Because I want to make sure that you guys are getting excellent quality content. For the most part, right? I'm not pro. This is not my full-time job, but I still like to give 110%. And when I don't feel like I can give you 110%, then it's better not to do anything than give you garbage, if that makes sense, right? So I'm still here, not going anywhere, but I'm just going to take some time just to, one of those. I hope that makes sense. Oh, there was did I miss something? I missed something. Mike, that's super nice of you. Thank you so much. It does help with the shipping, absolutely. Yeah, it's been nuts. So let's get into this. Let's do this thing, because it's 8:05. There's 35 of you, and I'm sure that you are just dying to see this new locomotive. Let me tell you, no amount of sadness could ever, exist if it wasn't for kind people like Perry, and Trains by Perry. He's a fellow YouTuber here, and he's the one. He jumps in on Sundays with Brendan or Bubs031 and myself, and we talk about the hobby and whatnot, and we share our knowledge, and we do work on kits, or I'll sometimes work on the layout, and they'll work on things and whatnot. And I asked him if he could do a little thing for me, just a little thing. And he took that little thing and blew it up. So, but in a good way. Yeah. Do you guys want to see this? Do you want to see this awesome job that our good friend Perry did? Because I'm super excited. Everything that I was feeling this past month totally disappeared when I got this. So here we go. All right, guys, so take a look at that. This is the Walthers F40 that I purchased a few months back. Actually, I think it was like September, October when they first came out. And this is a locomotive that I've wanted to do again, because I've done it in the past, but not to this, extent. So I basically said, hey, Perry, do you mind painting it for me? And, it's just white, black, the face there, and some detail black down on the bottom here. He said, absolutely. And then he said, do you want me to put the decals on for you? And I'm like, well, I mean, if you want. So he put the decals on, as you can see. And then, not just that, and I want you to remember that when you buy this thing, and we're going to go a little bit closer here. Actually, I can just take this off. Why not? This doesn't have grab irons, but this one does. So he personally drilled out and added all the little grab irons and painted them. He had removed these grab irons here and then painted them to match. And when looking at the back of the unit, normally it doesn't have the grab irons going down the back here, but he definitely added those. He turned a Walthers basically into a Rapido at this point. And he even painted the little safety gate at the back here to match, which is great. And then, just when you thought he could do everything, he actually added the correct plow. So this is a Canadian. I know you can't really see it. This is a Canadian style plow. Miniatures by Eric, I think, or bits by Eric. I think they're out of business, but yeah, he had an extra Canadian plow laying around, so he added that on there. He painted it because I believe it's brass. Yeah, and again, he did like a killer job, and I was like super stoked. He also he asked me, and with the way that the Walthers locomotives are on the inside, you can see the wiring through the window, but he tinted the windows, which is accurate. So he tinted it, and now you can't see that wiring on the inside that you normally could if it's clear. So super stoked, and I'm super grateful that he was able to do this, and he really knocked this one out of the park. I'd already shared it to my Instagram because, I mean, I was just over the moon with this thing and super excited. And I had all my F40s lined up, and yeah, they just it's a little family. It's a little family of F40s. Next up is going to be the B unit, or not a B unit, but a steam generator unit. That's, well, I'll show you the decals. The decals for it, but yeah, Rapido announced theirs are just hitting stores. I think next week. So I've got an undecorated one that will be on its way eventually, and it'll just need to be painted and decaled. And then I've got both units. Yeah, and again, super stoked. But on top of that, on top of all this work that he did, he also did a 92-day annual locomotive inspection sheet. And this is basically what in the real world, the real locomotives, check locomotive for fire hazards. He deemed it as okay. Test bell and horn function. He's done all that for me. It's 3 pages too. Yeah, he went all out. And unit fit to operate. So that gave me the okay to basically run around my layout, and he included that with the locomotive when he gave that back to me. Super cool, and yeah, it's really neat. That's like top notch. Also, he had numbered it 6400, just like the prototype. Just a bit of information on 6400. So it was one of the earliest because it started off as the delivery scheme. It eventually got wrapped in the Diet Pepsi for promotional use out in, I believe, British Columbia. It pulled some passenger cars that just like these here. I'm going to show you. But only there was a red and blue stripe going down the side with a little blue via to match basically the locomotive. It also had a flat car that had Isuzus or whatever they're called, a little promotional giveaway trucks, which I'm going to see about doing that still. And yeah, the steam generator. After this, it was the first locomotive in Via's roster to get the test paint scheme for the Renaissance, which is that green with the black and then the yellow stripes that go whoosh, but it got into a really bad accident and it was scrapped at that point. So it no longer exists. Sad, right? But it'll live on here on the layout forever. Yeah. Until Justin threatens to buy it off me again. Not for sale. Just gonna put this over here. Okay, let's take her away. And I guess while we're at it, we'll do a bit of a layout update. But to be honest, the only real section that I've been working on this past month is the other side of this. So I'm going to move the camera over. I don't know how much you'll hear, but you'll basically see all the stuff that I've been working on. So, and at least I'll try to talk loud enough. So here we go. This is the stuff I've been working on. All right, so as you can see, I've added a long road there, and it goes right along the back. Don't worry, it doesn't run parallel with the back because that would be terrible. But yeah, it just kind of swerves in, and it goes along the back, and then it cuts off right before it gets to that bridge there. And then basically I've added some slopes downward, and I'm starting to build a little bit of a rock wall. As you can see, I've got some cast molds there. I found some leftover that I didn't use on my last layout. So I'm just kind of piecing that in there, and I'm placing things basically. Now, another thing with the road is that it's not flat. You can kind of see that it drops down right where the truck is. It goes up, and then it kind of goes down again a bit. And that's basically just to show this ground is not flat. There's no consistency there with the grade, and it just adds a bit more realism to it, I find. And it's all going to slope down, and I'm going to be adding water right at the bottom there. So thanks, Mark. I'm trying. I'm really trying. But yeah, it takes a lot of work just to do this. I'm waiting on some street lights, and I'm going to add street lights to this section just so that it's not a very dark road there. So even just 3 street lights should do, and it will add a lot to the scene, and give it a bit of a sense of realism. So. Now I'm going to show you something else that I've been working on here. I think I might have to drop right down to this. Dang. Okay, well, that should be fine. I'll let it... here, I can probably do it right here, because there's a good amount of light here. I just want to make sure that this is good here, because I've had some issues in this general area. So I'm just watching it just to make sure we're good. Oh yeah, we're good. Okay. Just gotta slow it down. Oh, maybe a bit more. Okay, so last month I went out to the Ottawa train club, Ho Track, and I was running trains with Brandon, Bub031, and I did a bit of filming for the Keeping Track as well. You guys remember that? And he gave me these cars. These are kits from Sylvain Scale Models, and this is what I've been working on. There's it's all resin, and they've had these for a while, right? So they're still available. You can get them in the short or long barrel. These are all the CN short style. Now these last three here, I'm still doing a bit of detail work on them, but I was still able to put the truck's wheels and couplers on there. But they're not ready for paint yet. These ones are. These ones are good here, these four. And there's 10 total. So now I didn't super detail them, but you'll notice like I've got little, I don't know if you can see it, but there's little grabs on there, grab irons. And I did a little bit of the piping there on the side. Again, they're not perfect by any means. They have the little railings on there. But yeah, these still need the end grabs for beside the coupler and the little thing on the top there to open the hatches, right? But I've got 7 here, and then I've got 2 more that are done, but the truck on one end does not hold because the screw hole, I guess it's too big. So I need to find a way to fasten the screw into place after I paint them. And then I've got one more that, I mean, it still has a lot of work left to do, but yeah. So as you know, with like resin kits, it comes as it goes in the mold, comes out, and then you have to clean up all the pieces and whatnot. You have to paint it, glue it together. But I've been having a good time with it. So very good. Awesome. Thanks again, Brandon, for hooking me up with those. It has really helped me keep my sanity while I work. For anybody who asks, I do my work while I work, but at the same time, I don't mind working on a resin kit or two. It was really fun doing those. And then fill them with Pepsi. That's funny. All right. So, next on my list of things. Yes, next on the list. Take a sip. Well, that Pepsi talk has made me thirsty. All righty. Running around, talking about everything, doing train stuff. It's awesome. All right. miniprints.com. So they were one of the sponsors for the Christmas show that we did. And I really enjoy working with them. I've worked with them on a number of occasions. Bernard, coolest guy. So he, in the past, he sent me one of these, and he sent me another one here. I can't show you the other side because it has my address, but that's basically when you subscribe to the mini prints of the month, you get a little thing like this, and it's $24.99 American, and you get some random stuff inside. So this is the one from December, and we're going to open that. I'm going to show you. Also, you can get a mini prints printed gift card. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it says mini print, $50 gift card. So if you ever buy someone a gift card, you can ask for a physical copy, and he will print you a gift card, and it's really neat. So there's that. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that he sent me in the past. So like I said, it comes in a little plastic case, which is perfect because you don't want these to break. So he sent me this little moose. You can see the little moose. There we go. And just to kind of gauge the sizing there, if you take a look at the box car compared to the moose, this is HO scale, but also offered in N scale. So he scales that moose right down. We've also got some deer. I'm glad this is a flat surface. A doe, a deer, a female deer, who's had too much chocolate milk, apparently. And we've got some little ducks, which are perfect for land or if you've got water, because if you add it to the water, the resin or whatever, it'll just sit in the resin. But Daffy here and the gang, there's one that's sitting with its little feet tucked in. And then there's a bunch of them that are walking. Oh, a baby deer. Okay, okay, he had too much chocolate milk. And a couple more. A gaggle. That's a gaggle of gooses. Ooh. Okay, well, whatever. You don't want to stand. That's fine. That's your call. But yeah, so bunch of different things. Bunch of other wildlife, and also things like people. People for your yard. People to be on your train, like crewmen. So this is this came in the thing here. Season's greetings. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it basically is wishing you happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and basically gives a little bit of an explanation about what you're gonna get. And this one is themed because it was sent out in December. He normally sends them out December 15th, or not December 15th, but the 15th of every month. Sorry. And there's normally a little thing in there that tells you, what you can do as far as prepping them and whatnot. You can also visit the website where he has a number of videos showing how you can paint these little guys. He's got a lot of tutorials and stuff like that. It shows obviously also the different things that you can get. But we'll open up December's. This was December's. So right off the bat here, I see a sleigh. This looks like it's Santa's sleigh. There's a bag of gifts up here. Very nice. It doesn't really go on the rails, but it goes between the rails. So that's kind of neat. And here's the jolly guy himself. There you go. There's Santa. He's waving to the children. Now you can also get the reindeer. You can get all the reindeer, and you can make a nice little scene, maybe on the roof of a house. That would be neat. and them all taking off. That would be cool. Then let's see. So we've got a base here. And this base is neat because there's a little train going around that, and there's little gifts. So that means that this tree here, which is a Christmas tree, should go right in the middle like that. There you go. It's a little Christmas tree with a little even smaller scale. Technically, this is HO scale. So then what scale is that? That has to be like smaller than Z scale. So I don't know how he printed that. That's crazy. Then we've got some, these are flamingos. And he said that, yeah, now he sends a sticker. It says, it's the little things that matter the most. It's a little sticker that he adds with the prints now. And yeah, he sent, was it four pink flamingos. That's neat. And lastly, looks like a snowblower. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's a snowblower and a shovel, which is perfect for those winter layouts. I've never seen anybody ever have a snowblower, so that's really neat. Especially up here in Canada, if you have a Canadian layout in a Canadian province, or in the States where you're prone to get snow. But that's really neat. That's that was the December mini of the month, and that's just an example of a couple of mini of the months that you would get if you sign up for that. And it comes in a nice little plastic case. That way it's not damaged. They're not damaged when they get mailed to you in the mail. And again, if you want a gift card, you can always buy the gift card and ask for a printed. I think it's a little bit extra if you want to print out as well, because then he's got to ship it to you and whatnot. But yeah, that works. It's neat. All right. miniprints.com. Go check them out. Tell them I said hey. All right. You're waiting for me to start painting. I know. There's so much. I got so much to share, right? In the pink flamingos, mind you, I'm pretty sure they're real. Well, not real, but they're supposed to represent real ones. But I'm pretty sure you could even put them on a front lawn, like most people do with pink flamingos. But we'll be adding those to the layout at some point. Not tonight, because tonight I'm working in my paper mill here. You can definitely see I took a lot of the buildings out, except for this one. That one's it's in there. I don't think it's coming out anytime soon. But yeah. How big is the room? It is really hard to tell. It looked a lot bigger when there was nothing here. I believe it's 14 by 18 or 14 by 19, but it's really weird. Like I'll kind of show you. Like the length of the lights are off, but you can kind of see. So from that back corner over there where I'm pointing all the way down to that corner there, that's about 18 or 19 feet. And then from that corner over to this corner, it's 14 feet. But you got to remember, behind this section, there was a shelf unit that was part of the wall. So it comes out a bit. And that's why I have it all blocked off there. Did I need to block it off? Probably not. I could have totally utilized that area there as shelving or display for something, or done control panels, or put a picture of my cat. I don't know. But you know, if I can fill it, if I can put a train there or a siding, then I'm definitely going to do that. But it's weird shape because like this is a bathroom here, you know, and it sticks out. You know, I've got a door here which goes to my wife's office, and that only comes out about, what was that, 6, 7, 8 feet, I think, because the helix is 6 feet wide. Yeah, I can't remember. She's like, don't go any further than that. So I kept it behind the trim, right? I took it right to the baseboard there. But yeah, it's about 6, 7, 8 feet out from the wall. And then when you come right back like this is how you can really gauge the room. Like, you know, this just sticks out. That's like a 6 foot section there, and then it comes out an extra 1.5 feet, 2 feet here. You can barely fit through here, although it's like 2 feet. I remember when I was smaller and I could fit through there. Nah, but it's I feel like I utilized the space pretty well. And to be honest, I've been thinking lately, I'm like, if I put a number 7 right here, I can have it come off, and I can have a siding going right down this wall here. But I think my wife would kill me. So I'm going to avoid that and save money on funeral costs and just keep the layout as it is. Because I just don't need that in my life. So, and that's the thing, right, Roger? It felt like it's such a small space. So doing one level just wasn't really an option in HO scale. I probably could if it was N scale, but let's not go down that road again. But that's why I went 3 levels. And I limited each level to 15 inches tall because I knew they weren't going to be too deep anyways. So yeah, it's about 15 inches tall. And, well, each section, like from up here where the lights are down to the base here, but this has been raised up a good 6 inches. This part here is raised up 6 inches because of the fact that I've got a couple of bridges on this level. So not yet. I mean, I'm surprised she was okay with this, but she actually said that this has been, out of all the layouts that I've done, this is the best layout that I've done. So I take that as a win at that point. But yeah, so I mean, could I have done 2 levels? Probably, but then it would have been too quick of a, you know, and I wanted to run loops and I wanted it to be, you know, I don't know. It's the whole go big or go home thing again. I know it's annoying, but that's how I am. And even as it is right now, could I go bigger? Probably not. I mean, Bub still wants me to put a hole in the wall, but unfortunately, because I rent, that's not really an option. So I kind of have to make do. And this is my option basically until I move again in the future for some terrible reason. So again, just kind of doing what I can with, you know, what I've got. I mean, that the workshop that I have, I've done the work. It's all the woodwork. That's all I do in there is cut wood, right? So most of that's done, except for a couple of spots, but you know, nothing crazy. So what I'm going to do first here, you can see me setting up my soldering iron right here. I'm going to drop some feeders for these in a couple other spots here. This is a little trick that I have here. See how my boxcar has a sticker on it and it says red? It's because this side of the boxcar, that's my positive. Red's my favorite color, so I like to keep it positive. And when I go along the track like this, no matter where it goes, because you'll see both sides of this boxcar going around every single level. That's how it is. It goes to one end, curves, and goes back. So I need to make sure that it's consistent with, okay, red on this rail, red on this rail. And then which rail here is red and which one's white. So I follow along, and as long as the sticker is on the side that has the red, I'll know which way to put the actual wiring. So even coming into here, there we go. So I've got, where did I drill? Oh, I drilled right here. So this is kind of neat here. So I'll be doing this. Oop. This is my big spool of wire. I use the same wire all throughout. It is 100 feet of 20, number 20, I guess it is. There's different grades that you can get or size wiring, but I use number 20. If that means anything to anybody. I know a lot of people ask questions like that, and in some cases I have no idea, but in this case I can say it's, yeah, it's 20. I think I used 22 before, and it was okay, but then I started using this, and it works really well. Yeah. Roger, you would never know, but I do rent. And the cool thing about the layout, though, you would think, my landlord's going to be all like, that's not a good idea. Nothing is screwed to the wall, but it's sturdy. It's solid. It's really heavy. So it's not going anywhere, obviously. But yeah. And the owner has seen it because they do their inspections and whatnot and whatever. They think it's neat. I don't know. I don't get into lengthy conversations about it. But yeah, there's, they don't care. When you're renting and you're paying however much a month, it's your space. That's what I did at the last place. And until I own a home, which, it's something we're working towards, right? We're not going to just jump on the first thing. So. Seems like in this day and age, the best thing to do is just build a home. Buy a piece of land and then build. Yeah, they were very, it's long-term, like it's a hassle for people to find tenants, not just tenants in general, but good tenants. We pay in full every single month, so that's already more than what they could ask for. If Dave is watching, look, Dave, I'm using it. Yay. That was super easy. And I didn't break a tooth either. So that one's a little long. Just going to snip that. So with these here, I've got my tracks, or my rails, I should say, isolated. Well, I've isolated one rail. The other rail is going to be consistent with everything. So I can turn it off and turn it on, just like my other sidings. That's how I like to do things, so that I don't have, whatchamacallit. So I don't have power going through every single track, because I'm going to have a lot of sidings. I've got a whole yard over there. It's, I like to keep the power on the main line. So. Do you have the layout so it can be disassembled? Oof. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think that basically if I was to move in a week from now, if we were to say, okay, let's move whatever, the whole thing would have to come apart. I would salvage as much as I could, but I'm the kind of guy who likes to start fresh in a fresh place. So I probably would save a lot of the buildings. You know, all the track I would consider it. No, I wouldn't use it. Switches, maybe, because switches do tend to be on the pricier side. But I would try to salvage as much as I could, especially with the wood, because the wood, you know, there's a lot of solid 2x4s in this thing still that don't have a lot to them. So I'm just feeding these through here. Oh, there's my wife. My wife. Yeah. He, the owner lives in Crew 8. I wouldn't even know how to spell that. That's weird. Did you look that up, Steph? But yeah, he's actually he's pretty good with everything. So usually insel frogs, Mike, but because I mostly use number 6s, they've all changed over to uni frogs now. So I've got a lot of both. But yeah, I set them up as insel frogs. I never power my frog. I don't like. I could if I was using tortoises, and it would make more sense. But I don't even use tortoises, so I don't bother. I use the Walthers switch machines. Oh dang, it's a long one. Okay. Why does it do that? Okay, it's fine. But yeah, and I don't know if my wife is still watching. Oh, she probably is. We're not moving. Everyone says we're not moving, so we can't move. Sorry, Steph. We're stuck here forever. Forever. The bank should allow you to reuse the money. That's true. Hey, Adam, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Happy Valley Hobbies, how's it going? Steph, we got to change your name on this thing. Stephanie Ward is too, boring. Not boring, but like I've got like, the whole Govia thing. Why can't you be like, I don't know. Something. I don't know. I can't think of any good names. I was going to call Riker Hopper because, a hopper car, a grain hopper, but just call him Hopper, when he's doing little things on here. Call Landon the Gons after gondolas, Mrs. GVO is okay, but it's too obvious, right? Okay, so I've got my little snakes sticking up here. I don't know if you can see that. I'll probably bring it closer because that's more fun when you can actually see what I'm doing. There's no power on these rails right now. There you go. See little snake heads sticking up there. So got my red rail, which is my positive or common rail, I guess you could say. And it's just so I can do all this up here, like paint and whatnot. I'll have to paint the rails and the rails and the ties, but I can't really do that until I drop the feeders. So I'm just going to do that. Yeah, definitely not our forever home, especially if like, if I want the layout to be bigger. Yeah, she's making sure I'm not ordering anything from OVR. She's just waiting for me to say, so I placed an order the other day. As a matter of fact, I placed an order the other day. Not for me, though. Mark, are you still in the chat? Is Eminem Rails still here? Did he disappear? Calling all marks, calling all marks. Oh, smoking. So I like to tint my wires. As you can see, I just tinted my wires there. Okay, Mark, are you available on Sunday? I think Sunday. And if you say no, I know you're just saying no to avoid anything, but if you're around, let me know on Sunday. So I know you can't really probably see this, but I'm putting a little bit of solder on the outside of the rail because you definitely don't want to do it on the inside because that's where the flanges go. But I'm putting a little bit of solder on the outside, and that's what the feeder will connect to. And I've just find this easier to do it this way. You know, to each their own, but you know, whatever. Available for a drop off. I'm gonna send one of my children to your house so I can have a break. Just one. I won't send you both. Just one. I'm not that mean. No, I need to I need to drop off something. It's a trap. Okay, cool. I think I have to drop off the wife for, I'm going to say 11, if she's still watching. I have to drop her off for 11 a.m. And then I'll probably come by. Just a drive-by. Just a drive-by. No big. No raid. No raid. Dennis, you want a couple? They don't do much. One will just sauce you and or sass you, and the other one will just steal your phone and play games. That's basically what they do. That's their thing. I need to grab a tool. Looking for my file. I couldn't find my big file, so I have to use my little file. Yes, this solder does have flux in it. I find it just, you know, it gives me less that I need to worry about. So now, because I can reach under the layer, you can see the little snake there, and I call it a snake because it's a, you know, has a little head, you know, the little tongue sticking out there. Okay, so I pull it right down, and I can attach it just with a little bit of heat. Again, not professional, but this is just what I do. And Bob's your uncle. Unless he's not. But hey, that was easy. That's one wire. All right. And then next feeder. And it's done. Well, one rail anyways. Gee, Steph, last time we went on a road trip, well, actually, we were just talking about that earlier. Not in the road trip way, but the meme that I showed you with the Olive Garden. Because Canada doesn't have Olive Gardens anymore. But me being the classy fella I am, we drove all the way down to the United States just to go to the Olive Garden. Yeah, there's one in every family. And a Jim. Jim, Jimmy, John, something like that. There's always one. James. Every family has one. At least that's how it feels anyways. So I also like to put something there just to hold it, because that solder takes a minute to, yeah, see? Didn't hold. You didn't hold. And the one solder is supposed to connect to the other solder. And it's not doing it right now because I'm going live. That's why. That's why. Whoop. Okay, here we go. That took a minute. Where else do I have? So there was a couple of places here that I pre-drilled. I didn't want to put you guys through that. So I pre-drilled, and I'm just kind of doing my thing here. So the way that I used to solder, believe it or not, I would take out two rails or two ties, and I would literally solder the rail to the very bottom of the actual rail itself. So when you put it down, you literally do not see anything on either side of the rail whatsoever. Not handy. It wasn't handy at all, but I still did it. Do I regret it? Nope, because these are the things that we do that help us grow. And now I just do this because this is easier. I put all my track down and then I go around, and every couple of feet, usually it's every 4 feet, you drop feeders. On a module, you could either do one right in the middle of the module, or you can do one at each end of the 4-foot module. I think it's one at each end of the 4-foot module, if we're being realistic here. But John, I envy you. Please send chicken parm and breadsticks. Please send breadsticks. Don't actually send breadsticks, but please send breadsticks. So I'm just I'm doing this one now here. Whoop. Uh-oh. Keeping in mind, because I do like to remind you, we'll be on Mark's channel next week. Mark will be going live. I don't know what he has planned, but should be a celebration, I'm sure. It's definitely something to celebrate. Honestly, yes. They hurt my hands less than my old ones. The old ones, oh my gosh, I could only do that for so long. My only regret is not getting them sooner. And by that I mean like better strippers. And by that I mean these things, not just in case my wife is still watching. So the cool thing about this is that because this section here is raised up a good 6 inches, I don't actually have to worry about wires hanging down on the level down below, because there's a good section here where they'll be covered up, right? Which is very handy if you ask me, because having to hide wires and the whole spider's nest and all that, it's just you want everything to look good. Presentation is key, and I think most of you will agree that if it doesn't look nice, then it loses its appeal. I'm gonna have to come back and put all the sleepers in. Like there's sections here where sleepers are supposed to go as well, and yeah. Mark with his bad yolks. I think that feeders are well overdue on my main line here. I think, where's the next closest feeder? I don't have any feeders around this entire peninsula. You know how the train came and it went through and all that? I just have really good solder joints. So if there's a feeder, it's probably way over on the other side, but it feeds all this. You don't really see any power dropping, and the track's fairly clean because Dave gave it the once over with his clean machine. But it is necessary to drop feeders, especially in an area like this. And I'm going to do some feeders over on that side of the thing there. But yeah, Mark, you have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. I know that there's supposed to be another area here. But where? Normally I mark it, but then I had to move some of them because I had some stuff going on the underside. So I think this one here needed, but I want to make sure that that is good first. Is that connected to? That's not connected yet. Oh, dang. Okay, well, I'm going to have to connect that. See, some of this stuff is still fairly fresh and does not have a solder joint. So I'm going to... Okay, that's soldered already, but this is not. Okay, it's cool. Okay, now where did the hole go? Now I gotta find this hole where the wire is supposed to go through. So for those who missed, again, no GBO after dark and no keeping track this month, but they will both be back next month. Also, because Dave kind of stepped down from doing Third Rail Thursday, if there's somebody that wants to do a Third Rail Thursday and be a temporary stand-in for the Third Rail Thursday, doing a live once a month, 8 o'clock Eastern. Basically, where is it? Where are you, banners? There you are. Okay, so let's get rid of that one for a minute. Yeah, okay. So that's my work email here for the channel. And basically, if you want to do a live, if you want to stand in for, Dave, for Third Rail Thursday, it's the first Thursday of every month. Give me a shout. And if you have never done a live before, but you want to start doing it, I can set you up with the information that you need to, do this. And if you already do lives on a regular basis, it's just a matter of letting me know so that we can equally promote it, on our channel. So we'll say, hey, everybody go over to so-and-so's channel because they're doing Third Rail Thursday this week. So let us know. Because we want to keep the Third Rail Thursdays going. And I know that where the hell did it go? Did I lose it? It's got to be here. Unless I didn't drill it. But that doesn't sound like me. I think I remember drilling it. I should have really marked that. Oh, I think I found it. So if that's there, then this one has to be not here. Man, oh man. Oh no, it would be right here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so if that's there, then where's the other one? Okay, well, either way, I found one of the holes, which is cool. So, okay, so then that must mean that this one goes right here. I did it. Yay. Wow, that took longer than what it was supposed to. Now, this track isn't fully glued down yet, which I'm okay with because I got to adjust it going around a building. So no pressure there. Well, it's got to go through a building, I should say. So I've just got the wires hanging down. It's not going to bother me at all, but it's definitely going to push me to get some of this stuff done sooner than later. No third rail required. Keep in mind, we don't do this because we're professionals. We do this because we love to share the hobby. And, if doing something on here helps or sparks interest in the hobby, or if I do something and you're like, I've always wanted to try that, and it's kind of that push that you need, then I'm happy to help. And that's how things go around here. Also, I'm a really bad influence when it comes to buying stuff. I will buy something, I will talk about how cool it is, and then, it's one of those. There you go. Yeah, Steph, you can take over Monday. Just put on your little conductor hat there and you can talk about the do's and don'ts of caboose etiquette. And then everyone in the chat's like, what? And I'm like, I'm just kidding. There's no such thing. Unless there is, and I'm unaware of it. I'm just talking to fill the silence. I do have some very special videos coming up. I can't talk about it yet because I don't want to jinx it. But yeah, hopefully in the next couple of weeks or so. No, I don't think there's any rush or anything. Oh, yeah. Happy Valley Hobbies. Heath will do that to you. There we go. It's got my next two sets of wires, and then I've got another set down here. And I think that's all the feeders that I needed. I got the 3, and then I've got the lead. This is the lead here into the yard, so that'll be consistent. And this is the main, so that's consistent. So and to be honest, we usually go for an hour. We start at 8 p.m. And sometimes, sometimes the guys will go to 9. I've done a 3-hour stream before, and that was a time that I was working on lower section over there. I had like done a whole bunch of grass, like flocking. I did the whole flocking corner on the lower side, and it took 3 hours. And yeah, no, or was I doing the basket weaving? I can't even remember. But yeah, there's no real expectation. All right, Sean, you have yourself a good night. I think the real thing is, giving back, right? We all learn so many different ways to do one thing, and I think the thing is sharing your knowledge and what you've learned or what you love about the hobby. That's the important thing. That's what we try to do. And like with us, it's like Mark will run a lot of Santa Fe or CN. Sometimes he'll run some VIA. I run a lot of Ontario Northland and CN and VIA. But this is just mostly what we do. But there's no real guideline for what you need to do. It's just do what makes you happy, Maybe you picked up a product that you want to share, you want to share that with everybody else, because not everybody will go out and think to get the same product as you, right? Not unless it's an Athearn Genesis ACU or a -9 that everyone has now. Jen, I've like, you can buy them like that. You can buy rail joiners with the wires already on them. I was talking about how I used to do it was like the mid section here. I would remove like 2 ties and solder it to the underside of the rail. I mean, I could solder it to the rail joiner, but to be honest, I usually have everything down. Like, as you see this is I put this all down before I even wired it. I don't even need to wire some of this because the solder joints are really good and all my connections are very good. But I'm adding feeders just to make sure that there's that consistency of power on the main, and also I keep these sidings separate from the rest of the layout, so I can individually power this one or individually power this one without there being a drop in power somewhere else. So to answer your question, you can do it, but I don't normally. That's not what I do, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's something as simple as, adding it to, let's say this one here after the switch. So instead of putting it down here, I could have drilled 2 holes, soldered it to the feeder, or soldered the feeder to the rail joiner, and then dropped it through the holes here. But I don't know. I like to connect all my track first, test it out, and then I will add extra feeders here and there as I go. I didn't forget you existed. Oh, my neglected wife. Acts like I don't bring her chocolate. Where did my... Uh-oh. I put it somewhere, and now I don't know where it is. Where? Oh. Duh. Okay. That should be fine. Should be. Keyword should. And then I like to... I've got a larger file that I use for this, but do you think I could find it? No. What I do need is that rail cleaner, which hopefully I can invest in next month. Just got the Athearn Genesis SD70 ECU CP Rail Locomotive 2. Which one did you get? Which SD70 ECU did you get? I would really like this. That's the thing that I'm trying to justify here, because Athearn gouges with their price, and even getting it at Otter Valley, which is technically still a lot less expensive than going to some of these other shops, you're still looking at 375 for one of those. And if I did CP rail, then it wouldn't be a problem. But I don't do CP rail. But I do have family members that did serve in the military, and I think it's something that you don't have to be a modeler to appreciate something like that. You don't have to be into trains even to appreciate that. Just the amount of respect and gratitude that we do have for those who have served in the military and those who do serve in the military. I think it's a very respectable thing. And to have one would be awesome. If my wife wants to get me one, I want 7022 Locomotive 7022. But yeah, $400 a unit. Oof. Ouch, my wallet. Is what my wallet would say. No, but when you look at them, definitely worth every single penny. And even the ones that Bubs brought over, the Dash 9s, the BC Rail, and the CN. Oh, they're so nice. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, the one with the gold beaver, and even the script one, the burgundy with the script. It's just a beautiful locomotive. Absolutely. It's one thing that I've always said, and I will continue to say it. CP Rail does have the more superior wraps and fancier paint schemes than CN. It's just how it is, Like when you put the CN military units next to the CP ones, you can't help but feel like there's like a huge difference there. Yeah, 7022 is the Navy, yeah. Between that one and the Air Force one, oh my God, the Air Force one looks so good. But that's going to be the last one to come out, because they're probably going to do 2 more runs. That means there's going to be a few more road names as well. Maybe a patched unit or a leaser unit, because it is Athearn that's doing these. So that would be even neat, right? But there's probably going to be 2 more announced runs, because they're not going to do the last 3, and that's it. They're going to probably do more of the red ones. They did the NS, but I don't think that they're doing more numbers in NS, unless they do. I don't even think there was more. Shows how much I know about Norfolk Southern, but that would be neat to see the holiday train. But who knows? Randall, how did you pay $288? Was that like DC? And is that American pricing? Because Canadian pricing for DCC sound is about $375. So that's like a kick in the wallet in the beanbag right there. Okay, so if that you must be speaking American pricing then. So I don't know if someone wants to convert 288 US to Canadian. Let me know what that is. Don't forget those import fees as well, because those will hit you. Can we talk for a minute about the announcements Christmas Day that Rapido did? Can we talk about that for a minute? More M420s. It was a good Christmas. They announced more numbers of the M420. And I was just like, I could use another one of those, because some locomotives look best in a pair, in a set of two. So, and they're already amazing pullers. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, but it literally pulled all my gondolas and a good portion of my cylindrical hoppers. And it was by itself. And it was going up a 2% grade. And it was raining outside that day. So you know it's a solid locomotive. So as long as they don't change anything with it, and the same drive and all that stuff, and it's the exact same model, without being a hero and trying to do something crazy, I would totally get a second one, just because I don't run a lot of 6-axle locomotives. So for 4-axle that are good pullers. Oh, Mike, you got 3 on order? Oh man, tell me they're zebras. I know you like those zebras, because that's what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, that's American dollar. No worries. No, our colorful money is a bit more than yours, unfortunately. Yeah, $3.59 Canadian. Okay, so that's not bad, right? But then, factoring in the the exchange rate and all that. Oh man, sometimes we miss out on stuff like that, being on this side of the border. But it is what it is, right? Like, you win some, you lose some. Que sera, sera. Okay, so feeder down, feeder down, feeder down, feeder down, feeder down. I think that was it. That was it. Yeah. Okay. So now we can send this guy on back, because he's done his job by telling me what's what. And I'm going to move these down here. And I'm just going to make sure this area is clean and debris free, because I'm going to do a bit of painting just to kind of round this off. I know my wife's going to kill me, but things are taking a little bit longer than maybe what I assessed. Okay, so next here, because I want to do a whole thing where maybe that needs to be raised up, yeah. better. So I want to do a thing where I'm adding lights to all these buildings and whatnot. So I need to finish this area a bit further. I want to paint all this brown, I guess, because I'm going to ballast over some of it anyway, so that won't really matter. And just to kind of show you how I do this, dollar store. Yeah, I got a bunch of these from the dollar store. It's burnt umber. It's also great for weathering if you water it down a lot. I've used it for weathering as well. Da, 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 da. Okay. All right. And of course, I just have the smallest brush known to man. So this is going to take not super long, but it's not going to be quick. Da, 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 da. This is very mindless work, by the way. You know, like, I'm not really... Anyone can do this kind of deal. Anybody with a paintbrush? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely pulled this brush. But hey, you know, like, again, it's one of those things, right? Like, I'm trying to spread this out thin because you don't need to put a lot. There's going to be buildings over a lot of this, but it's the areas that I don't know that are going to be, you know, and I didn't want to trace it out. I mean, you could trace it out and just, you know, whatever. But no, I just want to do it all brown, you know, just kind of cover it. This is what I do everywhere. Like, if I'm putting grass down, I put this underneath. If I'm putting ballast down, I put this underneath. I've painted a whole yard like this before. I think I had a bigger brush. Not too much bigger. But yeah, basically. Feel my pain. The weird thing is that this cork really absorbs the paint, so it's really weird like that. And as for the areas under the track, because I use spray paint on my ties, it won't matter too much how close I get to my actual track here, because it's going to get covered anyways. I just don't like spraying in general down here because I work down here. My cat lives down here mostly, and breathing it in is not great because it's the Rust-Oleum stuff. So it does have a bit of a, like, I use the camo brown. So it does have a bit of a lingering scent to it. what I'm going to try to do as well over the next year, because things like this here, you know, when you're working on the layout, it's like you can't just say, okay, so next week I'm going to do this entire section. Nah, you gotta, you know, kind of chip away at certain things and do, like, make a long-term plan. Like right now I've been, you know, I've got my buildings in place. You guys know that, you saw the video. Finalized my track, got the cork in place, got my feeders down now. After I get this painted, I'm going to work out lighting for all of the buildings here. And they are all going to get lit in their own neat little way. It'll be lit for those younger people. But yeah, it's when you see everything light up, that's when it comes to life, you know? How's everything out in Sweden? It's good to see you coming in over the pond there. Oof. Wait, +5? I mean, like, Celsius? Is that what we do? We do Celsius? I mean, because, like, technically today was like minus 6 or minus something. +5 is a good day in Canada. I think. I mean, I normally, anything like +10 or more is like I can get down with, but now it doesn't matter that I have brown on here. I have to put drywall compound down. So this part here doesn't matter too much. I'm really just trying to get this part here covered. Just the cork, really. Is anybody else working on anything? I forgot to ask, and I feel bad now. But if anybody else is working on anything, let us know. Let me know. Because I'm having a good time over here doing this. So I want to know what everyone else is doing. What the hell's this? Gross. That must have came out the paint. Can't even reach that. My arm's too short. Ooh, minus 18 tonight. Disgusting. Yeah, apparently we're supposed to get some snow overnight. It's been mostly like the powder stuff that we've gotten here in Ottawa last couple of days or nights. Fresh pow. Buy new arms. Yes, from an arms dealer, right? Ha. Oh, neat. I want to snow so you can photograph a winter module. That'd be neat. Now, what do you use for snow? Because I've heard of a number of different things, but I'm always so worried about ruining a locomotive with certain things. So I'm just curious. What's safe? What's not safe? I actually just gave away some winter trees. Somebody, one of my viewers won some winter trees from Grand Central Scenery on the Christmas show that we did. And they were like awesome. Can you go to there? So I put this back in its place. It doesn't matter that there's paint there now because it's gonna sit flat like that. There we go. And that'll be covered up anyways. And I've almost used the whole bottle. Bring you over here. Sorry for the dizziness. There we go. Bring you back a bit so you're not. There you go. Micro engineering bridge kits. Oh, those are nice. I don't know if I have the patience to do that. Mind you, doing those ore cars, the mini barrel ore cars from Sylvan scale models, that did a number on me. Especially with the fact that the instructions that they include are terrible. Oh my gosh. You know, like I tried looking at pictures of the Rapido ones and it made more sense. I tried looking at the pictures of the real ones. That didn't make any sense. So I did the best I could. That was me that won the trees. Yes, yeah, Derek. That's a good question because I did send out more than half of the giveaway stuff, but I was saying earlier because I've already spent like over $100 on shipping with what has gone out, and I think it was probably about more than half of the stuff. I know I still have a few more, but I also ran out of packing tape as well. I think the trees are boxed up and good to go. Unless they already went out. I'd have to check. But hang in there. They should be there shortly. I know some of the guys even already arrived. They've already arrived. Some of the prizes have already been received. But if you're in the States, yeah, it might take a little bit longer. No worries. If I do have tracking, I do reach out and send the tracking information as well. But yeah. So double check just in case. Your email, just in case. So I mean, that didn't take too long to paint all that brown. I'm not going to worry too much about like the front here and like in between the tracks, because like I said, I'm going to spray this entire thing and this entire thing. I still have to glue this one down because you can see it still moves, but I just want to place it with the building first, and then I'll glue it where it needs to be, and then I will just spray all 3 tracks. And then I'll have to obviously clean the rails on all of them, and I'll have to connect the wires and stuff too. But I've got some really neat ideas for the like how I'm going to light everything up here. I'm going to be using the easy peasy lighting, or not the easy peasy, the just plug lighting from Woodland Scenics, because that's what I use on most of the other areas. And I'm a big fan of that because I'm not, amazing at electrical. So I try to make things as simple as possible. Local dealer, did you like the tree I sent you, Mike? Because, I mean, technically, I think the closest person, if they still have them, would be Credit Valley. I'm pretty sure I've seen some on their website. I don't know how much they have in stock, but technically Credit Valley has some. I've been trying to get Lauren to get some in. Apparently he had some at some point. But I'm sure that they're due for a top up. Or you can order directly from grandcentralscenery.com. Check them out on Instagram, on Facebook. They don't have a YouTube, but anytime I get any of their stuff in, I'm going to show it. So yeah, here we go. I think that's enough damage for one night. Got paint all over my hands. Brown paint. Well, yeah, see, like, I even, because I talked to Lauren a lot, and I mentioned to him about, getting a bunch in and becoming a full distributor for them. Because, I mean, for me, it'd be a lot easier than ordering from the States, although they are only in San Diego, which isn't too, well, I mean, I wouldn't walk to San Diego, but, it's not too far. It's not like ordering from like California or something, like, oof. But yeah, I'm sure, like, hopefully he'd be able to get some at some point. Send him a message, keep hounding him. If I'm not the only one who's doing it, then I'm sure that at some point he'll get some in. Because I mean, and I'll even show you my first attempt at trees were these Woodland Scenic ones. It's almost embarrassing. I almost don't want to show you. Oh man. So this was my first attempt at a tree, which not terrible, but like it's metal. It looks like this when you get it. It looks like, okay, that's a broken one. Okay, so this is one type of tree here. So it looks like this when you get it, but it's flat, right? So then you got to twist all these little arms and whatnot. You got to paint the whole thing brown. But it's pewter, right? It's metal, and it's very heavy. So like, even though I can put that into foam, it doesn't really, Well, yeah, there you go. It's broken. It just broke. Wow. See? Okay. So that was terrible. And I had how many? Like I had a box of these, which there was probably about 20 of these. And this is a different kind here. And there was the 20 of those. And it was brutal having to do that and, working on that, painting them. And then I had to use yeah. So I'm no professional tree maker, arborist, if you will. So when I had seen what Grand Central Scenery was doing, and all their stuff is handmade, and you can see with the sample that I gave you, all the little detail to it and whatnot. So definitely a huge difference between the Grand Central and these Woodland Scenic ones here. So I just use the Woodland Scenic ones now because they're not even half the weight of this. The Grand Central ones are top notch compared to these. So I just use those now. And yeah, it's probably cheaper just to make your own. Like I've seen like pipe cleaner trees. I've seen ones where you twist wire and whatnot. And if you've got a big layout like mine and you have a lot of area that's tree or bush and whatnot, you're going to be doing that for the rest of your life. So yeah, it's going to cost a little bit more, but you get it. It comes in a little bag or in a box, depending on what trees you get, and they're good to go right out of the package. So for me, that works. Like even with the lighting, that and I've got a little hub here I can show you. So I'll probably do a thing on the lighting system. If you haven't already seen my video from like 8 years ago, the Just Plug light system. I love these things. And yes, I could wire my own LEDs. I can, create a whole other sub line for my entire layout that's just dedicated to lights. Grand Central gems, yes. Basically, I could do all the wiring, but this is all done for me. All the LEDs have resistors. You can adjust the lights with the little things here. You can add a power switch to power off and on an entire section of hubs, and you just plug them into the top here. Like one little hub like this can hold 4 LEDs. If you get the one with the blue strip, you can plug 4 of these hubs into a blue strip, and you can plug 2 blue strips together. So if you do the math, which off the top of my head, I don't even know. But that's a lot of lights that you can have connected to one power supply. You can do a whole section, a whole city with 2 blues and then 8 of these. Oh, okay, then 8 times 4, because each one would... Is that how it would be? 4 and then 4. I don't know, but it's a lot of lights. And yeah, you pay a little bit more to have that, but I can take them out of the package and it's good to go. So in some cases, paying a little bit more does not hurt, and you can get right to work and you can get back to enjoying and doing the things that you want to do, like running trains. But then you get cool city lights and lit up buildings and whatnot as well. So that's my 2 cents. Plug and play. That's right. 100%. All right. Well, I've done all that I could for tonight. And I want to thank everybody for joining me for the Third Rail Thursday. It's 10 o'clock now. 10 o'clock here in Ottawa. Where are we? Whoop. There we go. Oh, geez. Okay. So we did so much tonight. So we talked about miniprints.com. Go see mini prints on the website. sign up for the minis of the month. They always send out really cool and very different minis every month, and plus you'll get some, normal stuff too, like little animals and whatnot. Or you just pick out specifics, like if you want a whole bunch of deer, get a whole bunch of deer. If you want a whole bunch of ducks, go get yourself some ducks. I'm excited. I want to get some crew members and put them on the back of the caboose and whatnot, and maybe when he creates the guy that's holding a little remote control for the train, because there's guys that control the train in a yard from outside of the train, and they have that little remote control pack. I think he's supposed to be making some of those real soon. We've got the new Via Locomotive. Shout out to Trains by Perry. Go check him out. Go follow him because he does some awesome work. And I know that he's doing some other stuff that you would like to see as well. Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back next month. And next week we've got Mark, M&M Rails. We'll be over on his channel. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. We'll see how that goes. And unfortunately, again, no GVO After Dark this month. If Mark wants to do a live, if he wants to run some trains or whatever, do an unboxing, then he probably will. I'll put up the contact there again at the end. If anybody wants to do the first Monday, let me know, and we'll get you set up for that. And you could be in as early as February, the first first Thursday in February. So that'd be neat. Other than that, watch for some videos and content that I'll be putting out very shortly in the next couple of weeks. I got some real neat projects on the go, and it'll be a new month, and we'll get back at it, and we're gonna keep growing. Shout out to all the so we'll definitely be doing more of that, and we're going to do a giveaway real soon, as soon as I figure out what that giveaway is. But I'm at 2K, so next stop 3K. Here we go again. I feel like the hard part's over, but it's crazy. I didn't even know 2,000 people like trains. So here we are. But until next time, I want to thank you very much for joining me tonight for Third Rail Thursday. We'll see you real soon, and stay tuned for more. Good night, everybody. Let's put up that email one more time, just in case you're interested. Also, feedback and whatnot is also always welcome. I always respond to my emails, so if you send me something, then this would be the place to do it. gvoafterdark@hotmail.com. Mark always gives me a hard time for using Hotmail. So, all right, you guys have yourselves a great night. Thanks again, everybody.